What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be reacting to a video from a content creator, Brosco, who does a lot of Andrew Tate content. And in this video, it's going to be the lawyer breaking down exactly why Andrew Tate and his brother will be doing the full 30 days and why the judge would not let him out inferior. Comment, like, subscribe to my channel and his channel. Let's get started.
Get into it. What's up, guys? This is Steph, and this is the reasoning of the decision that the judge has made in regards to keeping the Tate brothers under arrest for 30 days. Now, I've read this 9-page legal document and I've extracted the key points from it, and in this video I'm going to present them to you. I will start with the page number 1. On this page, the judge is just referring to the legislation that is being used for this decision, and he's just setting the legal foundation or the legal framework, if you will, for this specific case. Now, moving on to the page number 2, the judge goes on and provides information about the suspects and the charges that they are facing. Now, what I found interesting and I just wanted to point out, it looks like only one of the 4 suspects is facing charges related to rape. I would assume that that's Andrew Tate. Now, the other 3 suspects are only facing charges related to 3 times human trafficking and the establishment of a criminal organized group. Moving on to page number 3, the judge says that the witnesses' statements are matching the facts resulting from the psychological reports and the conversations that took place through the phone applications. From this, we can conclude that we have 3 types of evidence so far. Number 1, the witnesses' statements. Number 2, the psychological reports of the victims. And number 3, the conversations that took place through the mobile apps between the suspects and the victims. Now, on the same page, the judge goes on and explains the exact method used by the suspects to lure and deceive the victims into coming to Romania and use them for the webcam business. Page number 4. On this page, we have a part that is referring to the rape charges, and the judge acknowledges the following. Number 1, the suspects deny the accusations. Number 2, the only evidence provided so far by the prosecutor in regards to the rape is a statement made by the witness. And number 3, further evidence is required in order for the minimum standard of evidence to be met and the suspect to be found guilty of rape. This means that the judge is expecting further evidence in order to move forward with this charge. On the same page, the judge explains that during the investigation phase, it is not necessary that they have enough evidence to keep the suspects under arrest, and refers to a few past decisions made by the European Court of Human Rights in other similar cases. Moving on to page number 5, the judge confirms that the investigation started 9 months ago and that is currently ongoing. He also points out that the fact that the suspects are being under arrest does not mean that they are proven guilty, and in fact they are considered innocent until proven guilty. The judge says that he wants to keep the suspects under arrest because they are recognized internationally, but also because they are facing serious charges, and if they are set free, that could harm the public order by creating social insecurity. The fact that they have huge exposure on social media and the fact that they have a lot of attention from the news media also plays a key role on this decision. The judge goes on and says that one of the big threats of setting them free would be the society's perception in regards to the act of justice. He actually says something like, if we set them free, the people will lose faith in the legal system because the charges that they are facing are serious, while a gentle reaction to this situation will create social insecurity. Moving on to page number 6, here we can mainly find the definition of human trafficking and the conditions that need to be met in order for this crime to exist. I will just mention a few of these conditions. From a human rights point of view, the human trafficking implies the physical and psychological aggression of the victims, abuse of trust, and forcing them to work. From an economic point of view, the human trafficking implies financial and monetary gains for the suspects, national and international networks for the operations, and money laundering. From an origin point of view, the factors that sustain and generate human trafficking are the low education levels and the poverty of the victims. Now, the judge also acknowledges that the suspects have abilities and skills that help them identify vulnerable victims and exploit them on an emotional and physical level in order to generate monetary gains. Now, here's where it gets interesting. On page number 7, the judge says that even though the suspects do not have any criminal track record in Romania, he's aware of the fact that in the past they've been under investigation in UK for human trafficking and rape. He also says that based on the audio-video evidence posted by the suspects on social media, he is aware of the attitude of the suspects in regards to seeing women as tools to make fast and easy money. Now, in regards to the defense, the judge says that he does not agree with the defense saying that in the audio-video evidence, the suspects were playing a persona or a character, and that's mainly because they had the same attitude towards the victims. He's basically saying, hey, since you treated the victims in the same way that you are showing yourself to the public on the social media, it's hard for me to believe that you are playing a persona or a character. Now, moving on to page number 8, the judge also adds the fact that setting the suspects free will present a high risk of them escaping the country and going to a place where there's no extradition treaty with Romania. That's exactly what I've told you in my previous videos, guys, if you remember. And lastly, on page number 9, it is just the decision to keep the suspects under arrest for 30 days, and that's pretty much it. Now, in my opinion, based on what I've read in this legal document, I think the Tate brothers are going to have a hard time defending themselves, and this is mostly because all the audio-video recordings that are available on the internet can and will most likely be used against them.
What the lawyer is pretty much saying is that the judge doesn't want to let him out because the government doesn't look weak. Even though they do not have enough evidence to convict him, they do have enough evidence to keep a investigation going. And by law, as long as they are investigating, then they can hold them for 30 days. This is what you call the matrix sending out a matrix. When governments get scared of one person and they're trying to send a message, it's because they are scared and they need to send a message to everyone. In this situation, I do think Andrew and his brother is going to come out clean because they're not the only one to start a cam service and they're not the only one to act the way that they act. A lot of what Andrew says is 10% acting, regardless of what people want to say. When people have met with this guy one-on-one, they all have said the same thing. He's a nice guy, he's very respectful, and people love being around him. He's not forcing people to be around him. People love being around him because they like his persona. In my opinion, he's probably going to be bigger once he get out than what he was going in, and this is what they fear. They fear the fact that he's going to gain even more power because they don't have enough power to lock him up. Now, when it comes to the Vice interview that was done a couple of days ago, you could get those girls to do anything. But what the Vice didn't show you was that the first time that the Tate brothers were locked up, the reason why they were let out is because the government investigated the cameras that were in their house. And when they investigated the cameras, they can see that the girls who were complaining about what happened to them were having fun, were driving cars, were out spending money. And then when they got fired, that's when they wanted to complain about Andrew Tate. This is why I tell a lot of you guys, when you start dealing with girls who are for the streets, their brains don't click like regular women, which is why being in a relationship with them can be very painful, as well as just being around them because they're misguided. A misguided woman is almost the worst type of woman that's going to be on the earth. Now, do I think that the cam service will probably get shut down? Yes, they're probably going to shut that down for about 6 months to a year, just so everything could blow over, but it's not illegal for them to have it. Being that Andrew Tate does get his revenue from so many different revenue streams, I think that they're probably just going to get richer and richer and richer and keep making business deals. But like Andrew Tate says, he only has a couple more lifelines left before they try to take him out. Do I think they're going to try to take him out? No. Why? He's not a threat to the government. He's not doing anything to change the government. All he's doing is just talking shit to guys that are online, telling them what to do and how to be strong. He's not telling them take over a city. He's not telling them build communities and start fighting back. He's no threat to the government. He's only a threat to social media views. So the judge really doesn't have a reason to keep him. Hopefully you guys get the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.